Okay, so we are back again, everyone, continuing the same late night recording session and ruining the movie magic. As a departure from the super mature, blindly loyal deck that should have gone up last week, depending when things go up. That depends on Tom's editing schedule and whatnot. We're looking at Dimension Fusion Turbo. So, starting it out, it wouldn't be a big flashy deck without Chaos, without the Chaos engine. So BLS Envoy at the beginning. It does everything you can control, you can OTK, you can do all the things. It's great. It needs minor setup, and it is the boss monster of the format, unless you're counting Thousand Eyes with the Go Control. Dark Magician of Chaos. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand, banish any monsters this card destroys by battle instead of sending them to the grave. If this face-up card would leave the field, banish it instead. We don't care about things being banished here, we're trying to do that, and looping this is obnoxious as all hell. Chaos Orc, because we need another Chaos monster, don't we? And we're not allowed 2 BLS, so Chaos Orc fills that gap. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing one light and one dark monster from your graveyard. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster on the field, banish that target. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. Notably, this handles flips, this does not, which does make it weaker, as well as the double attack is very relevant for BLS. Thunder Dragon, we want lights in the grave. Bazoo. Once per turn, you can banish up to 3 monsters from your graveyard. This card gains 300 attack for each until the end of your opponent's turn. We want to banish stuff to bring it all back. Bazoo's great for that. It gets fairly substantial and is a pretty solid beater. Just requiring a bit of graveyard setup, which you tend to try and do pretty quick. Breaker. It's a solid beater, or it pops a spell or trap. Both things we probably want to do. Tribe, discard any card from your hand, declare one type of monster, destroy all face-up monster of the declared type. We're trying to load our grave, and that loads our grave while giving us advantage. Speaking of advantage, Dekoichi, just flip it up, draw a card. And you get it for any additional copy of Dekoichi on the field. This can, I guess, come up a little bit more, depending how you're playing out your dim fusions and whatnot. Mystic Tomato, get to your resources. When this card's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one dark monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck in face-up attack position. Usually you'll probably be getting another Tomato or Sangan. Again, you're just loading everything up. This is very much slow game and a big flashy finish. It's not the best, but it's not bad. Sangan, if it's sent to the graveyard, add one monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. That's pretty much probably one of your Jars or your Dekoichi. Cyberjar, flip, destroy all monsters on the field, then both players reveal the top 5 cards of the decks, then special summon all revealed level 4 or lower monsters in face-up attack position or face-down defense position, also adding remaining cards to the hand. If either player has less than 5 cards in their deck, reveal as many as possible. Loading the graveyard again, nuking the board, and it's a bit high rolly, but it's pretty good. Flip, both players discard as many cards as possible from the hand, then each draws 5 cards. If you've unloaded your hand onto the field, and then you flip this up, it's pure profit. Card Destruction loads the grave. Both players discard as many cards as possible from their hands, then each player draws the same number of cards they discarded. Dim Fusion, the entire point of playing it, is still kind of expensive now. Pay 2k life points, both players special summon as many of their removed from play monsters as possible. The idea is, you're going to have a lot, your opponent's not going to have any, then they die. Graceful Charity, format staple, draw 3 cards, discard 2, pair it with Thunder Dragon, feel great about it because it's absolutely free. Heavy Storm, destroy all spells and traps on the field because you really want to clear your way. Lightning Vortex, discard 1 card, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls because you really want to clear your way and load your graveyard. Metamorphosis, because we can. Tribute 1 monster, special summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck with the same level as the tributed monster. Notably, you can go into Gatling Dragon using your Demark and looping your Demark, which gets you back Metamorphosis, so it can get silly. Pot of Greed, draw 2 cards, we know. Limiter removal, double the attack of all machine monsters you currently control until the end of the turn. During the end phase, destroy those machine monsters. That puts Dekoichi on like 28 after you've just brought them all back. Even if your opponent has a field, you are probably chewing through it with a little bit of setup. Premature Burial, bring back something from the grave after paying 800 life points. Not 8,000, that would kill you. You can do some silly stuff. It's a staple for a reason. Snatch Steal, steal a monster, clear your way, OTK them. Or, steal a monster, Metamorphosis it. Return from the different dimension, pay half your life points, special summon as many of your banished monsters as possible. During the end phase, banish all monsters that were summoned by this effect. This is return with potentially a steeper cost or potentially a cheaper cost, and it's slower, and it still is banned. So, Dimension Fusion even, not Return. Return's really strong, but it's just not as good as Dim Fusion. So, we have a 4th copy that's a bit slower. Ring of Destruction, target 1 monster on the field, destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage to both players equal to its attack. If you are up, which you are likely to be after throwing all of your returned monsters into your opponent, and they are within range of death, just blow up your Demock and finish the job. Labyrinth Tank, it's a vanilla, but it's got a level that you can probably use. Same with Metal Dragon. Same with Wicked Knight. Gatling Dragon has some serious application. Once per turn, you can toss a coin 3 times and destroy as many monsters on the field as possible, but not more than the number of heads. So, really solid for just breaking down boards. Dark Blade, each time this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can select up to 3 monster cards from your opponent's graveyard and remove them from play. It's Kaiku on steroids. We have Dark Flare Knight. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 Mirage Knight from your hand or deck. You're not playing it, but it's 2/2 attack and you can just Metamorphosis away something you don't like. Ryu Senshi. A fusion summon of this card can only be done with the above fusion materials, unless you just Metamorphosis it out. When a normal trap card is activated, quick effect, you can pay a K and negate it. That card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve its effect. Negate the effect of any spell card that targets this card and destroy it. So, bit of insulation while you're going in. And Dark Bolter the Terrible. Let's skip the clause because we know how we're getting it out. When a normal spell card is activated, negate that effect by paying 1,000 life points. The effect of effect monsters that this monster destroys as a result of battle are negated. So this circumvents a lot of stuff as well. Gets rid of those nasty recruiters. Fiend Skull Dragon. Negate the effects of all flip effect monsters, negate any trap effects that target this card on the field, and if you do, destroy that card. So we've got a lot of different ways. Reaper on the Nightmare. So this is Spirit Reaper, but a bit chunkier. Destroy this card when it is targeted by the effect of a spell or trap or effect monster. This card can attack your opponent's life point directly, even if there is a monster on your opponent's side of the field. If this card successfully attacks your opponent's life points directly, discard a card out of the hand. Pretty good. So, hopefully, you've stole a thing, you've swapped it into this, and you're ripping something out. And where would we be without Thousand Eyes and playing goal control at their own game? Other monsters on the field cannot change their battle positions or attack. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls, equip that target to this card, a maximum of 1. This card's attack and defense become equal to the equipped monsters. If this card would be destroyed by battle, destroy the equip instead. So it's a floodgate, it breaks a board, and it clears your way. Notably, be careful of the floodgate. In the side, we have Mobius the Frost Monarch. When this card is tribute summoned, you can target 2 cards, 2 spell or traps on the field, destroy them. It's good to just clear your way for getting rid of back row. Especially if they're leaving a bit too much out and not expecting you to drop this on them after you've already exhausted heavy. Mystic Swordsman level 2, deal with flips if they're a pain. Exchange. I kind of tried this out. Both players reveal their hands, add 1 card from each other's hand to their hand. Hand knowledge is good. It's a bit quirky. Knock. If the flip heavy. We've been through knock. Target 1 face down monster on the field, destroy that target, and if you do, banish it. Then if it was a flip monster, each player reveals the main deck, then banishes all cards from it with that monster's name. We've got another copy of Return, because it's good. Trap does shoot. Hand knowledge is great. Hand knowledge is even better if you can get rid of a card that will bother you later. So, activate only if your opponent has 4 or more cards in their hand. Usually you're playing this going first. Look at your opponent's hand, select 1 monster card in it, and return that card to the owner's deck. Notably, you can chain these at the same time. Royal Decree. Traps suck. Especially when you're trying to pull off something that's big, flashy, and unrealistic. Traps really dampen that. So, negate all of the traps effects on the field to get that done. And that's pretty much it. It's gimmicky. I feel like I missed out Giant Trunade. Return all spells and traps on the field to the hand. You're hoping they don't get relevant again. You just bounce everything back and you go for the kill. But yeah, that's Dimension Fusion Turbo. I have no idea where I picked this deck up from. I was just making a bunch of goat decks quite a while ago, and I enjoyed playing this. It's high rolly and it's good dumb fun. So, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the bell icon, check the Discord out, watch the other goat videos, watch the other regular videos, watch the streams, do all the things within reason. Don't spend your entire life here. Make sure you go outside. It can be pretty sometimes. And with that, let's change the subject. I'm leaving.